Alright YouTubes, in today's video we're just going to go through like taking some extra steps to get jobs right and trying to find a balance. Hello. Hello. You're on camera. Give me 2 minutes because I forget what I'm fucking going on about. Bye. Bloody wife. Alright YouTubes, in today's video I'm just going to go through some extra steps that you can take to try and get jobs right first time out the door. And one of these was quite critical, is getting colours right. So I'll show you the vehicle I got to paint today. So it's just a bonnet on an older Audi TT, and it had which is quite a common thing that we've come across quite a lot lately. It's just breaking down clear coat. It had a bit of chemical staining all through the middle, and it was where the clear coat started breaking down, deteriorating, heat, sun, engine heat, the usual stuff, fine light crazing on it. So he's coming for the bonnet to be painted. So on these TTs, if you want a seamless colour match and blending, there's quite a lot to paint. So quite often a customer will come in, they've just got a problem with their bonnet, but if I quoted to blend this car, I would be blending the wings both sides, and I'd be blending the door, and they'd be stripping, mirror out, and that's a hefty amount of work for painting a bonnet. And 9 times out of 10 it's a bit of an older vehicle. It's a lovely condition vehicle, don't get me wrong, but obviously value wise people are not going to be able to justify it, you quoting them to paint all of them panels. So you come in for one panel and you're quoting to paint 5 panels. I know it's not a lot of time prepping for blending, but it's a lot of painting materials, and with the stripping and everything to do it all properly. So you've got to try and find a balance on this side of things. So this colour, I never really took much notice of it. It's quite an unusual colour. I've never come across it, to be honest with you. It's called Oolong Grey, and if you can see in here under these LED lights, it's got a really blue pearly flip to it, and outside you catch it in the sun and it's got goldy sort of fleck, blue pearly, and it looks all different light angles. Quite a challenging colour to do, to be honest with you, and get right edge to edge. So with my Mipa paint system, Mipa water base, I've got 2 shades on there, and I had 2 colour chips, which was good. And I looked at both of them and they both had pros and cons. One of them, you know, standard shade looked quite decent on the flop, but just didn't look like it had enough blue pearl, just didn't flip enough. So looked at the ingredients of that, and it had a variety of pearls in it. So there was another shade, it was called bluer uncoloured, which I've never come across that type of shade, which I'm assuming bluer uncoloured means it's got a bluer sort of effect to it, but uncoloured, not really changing the shading, I suppose. I'm not too sure. It's written in German on my paint system. Some of the stuff you come across on there, it's just written in German, so I have to translate it, and the U part stands for uncoloured. So what I've done is I've spent a little bit of extra time, about half an hour. I've used my Spectro, and Mipa's got a whole load of new software now with it, where you can visualise the metallics all at different angles, which is a big help. So I've spectroed it, and it picked out standard shade as the better match, but didn't look quite right on the effect. And it's recalculated, where they call it optimised now. So it's optimised both shades for me, and the standard one is coming out on top as a closer match as a shade. But when I compare them all together, there's not a lot in it with the 2 optimised shades, standard and bluer uncoloured, and the shot that it's took, the image that it's took. So I sprayed out the first shade, the standard shade, which it said was better, and it's not too bad. It just doesn't seem to have enough blue effect. I'm not sure if this will show up too well on camera, and I've got to do this one-handed. So this is the main area really. This top of this door to this bonnet is edge to edge, and this is where you're going to notice a big colour difference. Quite a different angle here and where this car flips a lot, it's not so noticeable. So that's that, and it's not too bad. That's the recalculated version. It looks slightly better than the colour chip that we've got. And then I sprayed out the other one as well. I know it's a bit of a mess. I've had my hands over it and I haven't clear coated it yet. So for now, I just spray some degreaser on it to give it a bit of a sheen, and it's a bit of a different angle, and it's definitely got more blue pearl to it, and I think it looks better. If we can, I'm not sure if I can do this one-handed. I'm not going to be able to do this one-handed with the light. If I get the light, looks pretty decent there to me, shade-wise. So on the flop, it looks decent, and it's definitely got a bit more blue pearl to it. Definitely got a bit more effect to it. So spending that extra time spraying it out, and I am the worst for it, not spraying stuff out. And if you see a previous video, I had to hot paint a whole front end on a Maserati because I rushed and skipped this part. Now I'm making this more of a rule now, especially with the Spectro, working with the Spectro. Any Spectrophotometer out there, it's not, you can't just shoot it, it's not plug and play. You don't just shoot the colour, pick the best one, and yeah, that's going to be a guaranteed match. That's not how it works. It's just an aid, and you've got to work with it. You've got to think which way it goes, look at the variants, and even if one comes up as the top best matching that the computer says and the Spectro says, it's not always going to be the case. So I never do that anymore. You have to spend a bit of time working these things out. I'm not someone that can tint. I've never been taught tinting. I've done little bits and it's just been a bit fluky really. So I use the Spectro as my aid and work with it there. And like I say, it got both of these shades look pretty good shade wise. I needed more blue pearl to come out on this job, so that's what I done. I went for the bluer version of it and recalculated it, and it's got me to where I need to be. So now I don't have to, I know this is going to be pretty much, it's not going to be 100%, it's never ever going to be 100%, but you've got to find a happy medium and a balance between all of these things, all these factors, because otherwise he's not going to have the job done, we don't get the work done. The customer then is disappointed because he doesn't want to spend a silly amount of money having it all blended and all the rest of it. It's all horses for courses. There's all different scenarios involved. So this is the way I try to do it, with minimising the amount we have to paint and getting the colour as close as possible. Colours like these can be very tricky for the Spectro to identify all the different angles of shading, flips and flops. So spend that little bit of extra time spraying out some shades and checking it and getting it to where you need to be. I'm pretty confident I can do this bonnet edge to edge now. So now I'm there with the colour. I stick the head cam on. Very straightforward to mask. We'll go through the masking. We'll mask this up, just back mask. Just give you a little few pointers of how I do this. Back mask it, we get it masked up, and we get some paint on it. So I'll just give you a quick look at the new software that's come out for the Mipa Mix Elite, which is Mipa's mixing software. And it's a lot better. It takes some of the guesswork out, and now you've got images with the upgraded Spectro. You've now got photograph as well, so you can look at effect on the screen. So I'll just give you a quick look before we crack on and get this masked up and painted. So yeah, the menu's completely changed. So this is on a correction. So basically, if I'll go to formulation search, I'll take these out. So once that's the image I've got, put the manufacturer in the color code if you want. You've got same other options. You can go for color cards, look across the system, don't put any manufacturer in, or put that in and not the color code, and all those options are still the same as with probably most Spectros. And now it gives you the optimized shade straight away. So it gives you this, there's two shades of this color. It's picked both of them, so it's in the right, it's within the right ballpark for both of them. These numbers are how close it is. It doesn't give you now, it doesn't give you a comparison of how close the camera's got it from recalculating it, or what they call optimizing it now. It doesn't give you a difference in numbers. It doesn't show you that anymore. It's got a coarseness bar, obviously you want that in the green, so it's saying the coarseness is good to the image that I've took. Obviously if you go down, the dots, I don't know if you can see that, the dots get bigger, so it would say that the formula's is more coarse than the image. It's sort of traffic light system, green, amber and red, and the same way going upwards, finer. So it would say, you can look at that straight away and know that the metallic looks right, and it looks right on the color chips, because I've got color chips for both of these shades. So that's one thing that's different. It's got a coarseness measurement bar. Then you can go to components. So from here, you'll double click it, drag it over, and you can put it in original or optimized box. So that's the original formula that's on the system, and then double click it again and you put it in the optimized. So you've got both there. Highlight both of them. You've got the normal visualization, which was similar to the other one. I'm not sure, sorry, but I can't tell whether this is coming up on camera. So you've got the image that's been shot. You've got the formula that's on the system, how that compares, and then you've got the optimized formula. So what you can do then is you can drag that over and put it next to it. You can, I don't, like I say, I don't know if it's showing up too well on the camera, but you can see the difference there between the formulas on the system and the recalculated optimized formula, and then the shot. So it all looks pretty close there. This is more shading at different angles, direct face on, flips and flops, so you can see the band in there. You can put bars between all this to separate them if you want them separated. So that gives you a sort of shading indication, which looks good on the optimized. And then I won't bore you too much with it all. You can go on image, and now it's giving you different angles and how the effect looks. So that's the shot, and you can see the colors in the effects, and then as the angles go down, how much effect is shown at the angle. Like I said, I'm really not sure if this is showing up, but the shot is showing a bit more there. And the ones with the blue triangle on there, they're your optimized formula. So you can take one of these out if you want to take it out. So take out the one off the mix, highlight that one and just compare it. So you've got a good visual aid of how the effect looks at different angles, which is, from playing about with this for the last week or so, still learning with it, it's been really handy to have this side of things, because before this software come out on this, there was none of this where you can see images of effect. We was all going by shading. I'm looking between formulas, the ingredients, looking at the metallic size of the ingredients and the effect of what effect colours are in the ingredients, working it out, comparing it to the formula that's on the system and the corrective formula, seeing what's been removed, how much has been removed, and sort of trying to visualize it in my head how that would look. And then obviously you go down spraying it out and see whether that's worked. So obviously it's been really handy having these images on there now, whereas before, for me to try and identify how the effect looks without spraying it out initially, before I spray it out, I'd be looking at the ingredients, looking at the tinters that are in there, and then trying to work out whether the effect is going to look right, especially on the recalculated formulas, how much it's took effect out of it, and trying to visualize in my head whether the effect is going to look right, which is quite a lot of guesswork really. But obviously you get to the point where you think you're going to be in the right place with it, and then do spray outs, which I don't do that often, but it's going to become a new habit of mine, is to just the time I spend trying to work this out before. I've got this visual aid now to get me to where I think it needs to be, and then spray it out. That's my new rule. There's an old saying in this trade, if in doubt, spray it out. So there we go. That's a really handy thing as well. You don't need your Spectro in now. It saves it all to the software, and you can keep dropping shade after shade into these boxes and do more comparisons. But obviously you're going to get a bit bamboozled with having loads of shades So I hope you found that interesting, and yeah, let's get on with masking it up and let's get some paint on it. It's all been blown out before it came in, but I like to just degrease all the edges just so the tape sticks well. There's always grease, grime and dirt on the edges. And sometimes you find with bonnets you put a fair amount of material on a bonnet. Well, I do. It's a flatter finish on a bonnet, so you do have sometimes the clear coat filling between your back mask and the panel. So I try to keep it away from the edge, so if I can help it, I won't shut the bonnet fully, so I can pull the tape away, you know, from the edge. But it does happen. It's not too much of an issue. You just got to be careful, let the paint go nice and hard, and sort of cut it off, really, cut that little bit extra off. But I like to sort of not try and keep it away from the edge, so you can pull it downwards. So having the bonnet up on the first catch can help you do that. So I back mask all of it, apart from this back edge. I don't back mask. I sort of do that when I sheet it, and I do tape it down as well, because you pull the sheeting over and it just sticks to all the tape, and you're just wrestling with it then. So it's a bit more tape, but I mean, a quick way, and I've done it in the past before, is don't do any of this back masking. Just chuck some paper down in the areas where the bonnet's going to shut. Make sure it goes in a little bit more. Just shut the bonnet down on it. That works. And then maybe put a bit of tape around the edges, because if it's just clear coat can bleed through masking paper. I've had that before in the past, where the clear coat is bled through the masking paper and it's stuck to the panel underneath. It's not so bad when there's some base coat on it, but I sort of do a little bit around where this pillar is. Get it underneath. Stick it firmly, but you don't want to be sticking it on this edge. You want to pull it away from it a little bit. And sometimes I put something like an old roll in there, or something to wedge it up. Sometimes if you shut bonnet, it's so tight it will push the tape up onto the edge, and you can't get it away. So sometimes you might need to prop it up. But I leave it on that. Because I'm not doing any other panels. If I was doing the wings with it, I may need to shut it down on that side of things. But go round, check it. Like here, it's tight. It's good. The mask is going to be pushed up against a panel, and this is where taping it down will minimise that. Because before I tape it down, I make sure that I've got no tears in it. And obviously, one downside to having it propped up a little bit is it's pushing tighter on this. Now I'll just go round a bit at a time. 2 inch, get it as close to the edge as possible, and then just pull it tight, pull it away from it. Always try on back mask, and always try to pull it away. There's always going to be little creases and stuff of adhesive on the adhesive side of the tape that could be touching. You can sort of feel it with your finger as well. Oh, just a bit off subject. It's just, I don't know, life is just hectic. I don't know about yourselves, but everyone I speak to, everyone's just in a rush all the time. We're just all chasing to keep the bills paid, and we're not like overly busy, but we've got some, you know, some fair sized jobs, so we don't need a lot of cars here when we've got fair sized jobs. So we've got plenty of work to get on with, but we haven't got a lot of inquiries or cars coming in on the smaller side, I suppose. Yeah, we've got plenty to do because we have got some big jobs. This is the smallest job I've done in a while, to be honest with you. It's a bit hard to record the bigger jobs. It's a lot of footage to try and break down on the bigger jobs, which, yeah, it's difficult to find subjects to make content about, to be honest with you. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, it's just everyone I seem to speak to, everyone's just in a rush. Everyone's just so busy. We're just, yeah, we're all flat out. We've always got stuff to do. Everyone seems tired. I feel tired. Reese is tired. The wife's always tired. And the weekends just fly by, especially if I've got a bit of work to do. And yeah, I can't sort of get my head round it sometimes. It's hard to find some peace, you know, when it's just always a list. I seem to wake up in the morning and then it's like a computer loading up. Just a list of tasks start downloading as soon as I open my eyes, and yeah, never ending as life, I suppose. I'm not complaining, believe me, I'm not complaining. I'm grateful for it. But it'd be nice to just have nothing to do for a while, you know, just switch off. But got to take the rough with the smooth, and you got to, especially being self-employed, you've got to take what comes your way, really. I am a little bit picky and choosy on jobs, but anyway, I hope you're all doing well anyway. And thanks for tuning in and watching my content. So that's it, that's ready to bag up now. I'll just leave this bit, but get all the sheeting where I need it to go, get the sheeting on, get it cut out. Always leave myself excess so I can roll it back and get it in the positions that I want. Then I flip the sheeting out the way, back mask over there, put the sheeting to it and take that down. Fold the mirrors in. Don't know why there's spoilers up, but it's not going to impede anything. So again, even with the bagging up of a job, it depends on your environment. If you've got a downdraft booth, which is the best really. If you've got the advantage of when the boob's running, all the sheeting gets sucked under the vehicle and you're going to get less overspray. So with this, you know, this boob that I've got being a backdraft, air coming in from the top, sucked out of the bottom, I haven't got that luxury of it being sucked under the bag, so sucked under the car. So hello. So yeah, with having a backdraft booth, or you know, not having a booth, we've got no extraction underneath, to minimise overspray, and you do get it. It's impossible not to get some overspray creep, but you want to minimise it. I get it in certain areas, sometimes with gaps. It's going to blow through there anyway, and I think a downdraft booth will take some of that overspray away from you, even if it does get through gaps, because the overspray in here has got to, you know, if I'm up this end of the booth, it's got to travel over the car and under the car and all around the car. So I like to get it all tight, so I like to pull it in, and what I normally do is get it all pulled in front and back, get the sheeting in the middle. This is a 5 metre sheet, so it's probably a bit excessive for this car, but I ain't got any 4. But I do normally use 5 metre on most jobs, so it gives me that little bit of extra sheeting to tuck under the car than a 4. A 4 metre, some heights of cars, it just about makes it, which again, that can that could cause overspray because you're not wrapping it under the car. So I do like to use 5 on most, but 4 metre would have been ample for this size car. So get it all pulled in tight, pull it in the middle, front and back, then get it tucked under here. And I don't tape any of this first, I'll just get it as taut as possible, get the sheeting as taut as possible, get it so it's relaxed around the area where I'm going to be cutting it. Again, it's all steps to take to minimise overspray, which saves you time when you're finishing off. So I always give myself plenty of excess. This is, you know, plenty that I can roll up, and instead of trying to cut it exactly, leave excess there. Again here, leave myself plenty of sheeting. I used to just try and go to where I need to mask it and then take this edge, but you end up being 10 pence short sometimes. So and a bit more cutting involved as you go in. Take that bulk out. And from here, try and minimise creases, because any pockets and creases in sheeting and tape and masking, you're not going to get everyone out, but they're all little places for dirt and debris to hide, for stuff to blow out into your job. So, you know, this step, the sheeting and the masking of a job, as an influence on how clean your job is with all your other steps for cleanliness. So yeah, it's an important step for overspray, obviously, to minimise work afterwards, after it's painted. Again, helps you to get the job out right first time. You may not spot some overspray on a vehicle as well, and if a customer finds it when they go home and they clean their car or whatever, then obviously there's come back and rework to be done. So again, another sort of step, part of the steps that you take to get good jobs, clean jobs. I like to get clean jobs first, getting them out the door first time, and it's all about minimizing the, you know, minimizing the risk of it coming back. It's all time consuming. And if you're a painter yourself watching this, you know yourself, it's a very time consuming job this is, even the small stuff, to do it right. There's a lot of steps, a lot of processes, a lot of things involved on just some of your basic level paintwork really. Like I say, this was a deteriorated clear coat on it, so I do the same on all these. We've done quite a few lately. It seems to be this sort of era. What's this? This is a 60 plate, I think. Yeah, seem to be doing a lot more of them, and I find just to get all the clear coat off, even in the places where it still looks in good condition, just get the whole lot off. Don't really need to go much further than getting the clear off, but they want obviously a 2-pack prime afterwards. So yeah, just get the clear off, and it's not too bad to get off. In the places where it's deteriorated, it flies off. So we sanded this with, we got it all off with 220 grit. I like to finish in 220 grit most of the time for 2K primer. A few bits going through and a few layers to feather out. Some areas you're going to go through to bare alley or bare steel. This is aluminium, this bonnet. So take care of them areas. And yeah, give it a good prime all over. 3 coats, about 3.5 coats. I always put a half coat on, especially if you've got areas that are feathered out and multiple layers, just so it doesn't pick up them edges too much. And yeah, 3.5 coats of 2K primer, Mipa 4+1 high build. And then yeah, grease prepped all this. So you give it a good block with 320 grit, and it's been finished off in 500 grit. This was more of a silvery looking colour, you know, had a higher metallic content in. We would just, after the 500 grit stage, we would whip over it with 600 grit and finish off around the edges with 600 grit. Just sometimes, if this was going to be blended, and it was metallic, I'd be putting a blender coat over it, which can hide them little micro scratches, but I'm not on this. So 600 grit just refines them scratches a bit more. Sometimes 500 grit can show through in the metallic in certain light angles. Again, that's one of the downsides to dry sanding sometimes, but it is more efficient and cleaner, I find, dry sanding. Don't really do any wet sanding as such, only on polishing stages really, and Scotch Brighton we do wet, that's about it. So again, try and minimise your creases, just get it rolled up and sort of get it as tight as I can. You're going to have some creases. Again, you can cover them creases with tape. Bit of excess here. Get it rolled up, get it nice and tight. Bunching up here, you've got a crease, got a hole, check for them. I'll take my creases down. Yeah, give me 2 minutes, I'll come in. Let's finish this. Slam that on there. Make sure the tape's all nice and stuck down, no gaps in it. And then what I do now is, if I can, there's normally quite often between the bumper and the engine tray there'll be a gap. You can pull the plastic down. If I can, I'll tuck it in, but here it's not really anything I can feel that I can tuck it into, so I'll bunch it up. Twist it, tape it, get that under there, and just tape it to something that'll stick to, like the engine tray. If I can. Go to the back, do the same. Find somewhere you can tuck it in, pull it all in tight, pull it underneath. Get it tucked in somewhere where it's nice and snug. Get all the excess tucked up there. And then what I do then, as the last resort, is sometimes it won't work if your wheels are wet. But bunch it up under there and pull it and tape it to the back of the tyre or the back of the wheel on both sides. Grab it, bunch it up, pull it in nice and tight, and it's pretty much snug under the car now. And that's about the best you can get without having a downdraft booth. And still going to get bits of overspray here and there now and again, but normally quite light, little wipe with thinners carefully and a bit of hand polish and you get away with it. So yeah, do the same the other side, and that's it. I try and get the bag as tight as possible. Try and minimise the creasing. Always get overspray up the screen for some reason. Always seems to happen. But it comes off easy. And there we have it. That's it, all masked, ready to spray.